So joining us now at the iwi is Treaty Negotiations Minister Chris Finlayson. Tēnā koe, Minister.
Tēnā koe.
First of all, how's your new role as spy master in charge of the Government Communications Security Bureau and Security Intelligence Service? How's it going?
Well, I'm not some kind of Yuri Andropov of Soviet times. My task is to ensure that the business of government's conducted in accordance with the rule of law, and that's my responsibility as attorney and also as minister in charge of the SIS and GCSB to make sure that those organisations are operating under the rule of law at all times. So it's an interesting job and I'm learning a lot.
How many potential spies do we have in Aotearoa and how many of them are Māori?
Well, I wouldn't know the answer to that, and I don't get into operational details as you would expect me to say.
To your mind, what will be more difficult, wrangling the government spies or the Ngāpuhi for a settlement?
Well, actually, for all the noise that there is in Ngāpuhi, if people can stand back and excise all sort of personal difficulties and interpersonal relationship problems and concentrate on the prize, I really think great things are achievable. And forgive me if I sound like some kind of Pollyanna, but I'm optimistic that if people do that and put aside their personal differences, they can reach a satisfactory, or better than satisfactory, a just and a durable solution for the people of the North.
It must be quite frustrating for you because it's not that long ago you were on this program talking about the Ngāpuhi settlement, but since then relationships seem to have deteriorated even more, haven't they?
Yeah, it's not my right to be frustrated. I've just got to keep at it and jolly people along and hope that, as I say, they can put aside differences and focus on the big prize.
The Waitangi Tribunal's first Ngāpuhi report, Te Paparahi o Te Raki, came out. It said Ngāpuhi never ceded sovereignty. Do you agree with that?
Well, I think that's been the subject of quite a lot of historical discussion over the years. The key point I want to emphasise is that there is no doubt as to who holds sovereignty now. I must confess that that may excite some historians, like just in the same way that what happened in the Peloponnesian Wars excites some ancient historians. I am very excited by the prospect of a just and durable settlement in the North that enables people to see the potential of that great region of New Zealand realised. That's what gets me going in the morning.
Have Ngāpuhi asked for mana motuhake?
Well, we're talking through a whole range of things, but at the moment I'm focusing on the mandate. I'm very happy to get down and discuss all sorts of issues with them in the fullness of time, but let's get to mandate in terms of negotiation first.
And will direct negotiations happen this term?
I certainly hope and expect so. And I'm going to be working with all sides to ensure that that can happen. Let me emphasise what I'm looking to do here. We will have, I hope, a global commercial settlement, but when it comes to issues like Paroti Springs, Lake Marae and so on, there will be opportunities at hapu level to discuss those issues with the Crown. I'm actually very excited by the Ngāwhā Springs situation. I think we can work through all these sorts of issues very, very adequately if people focus on the big prize.
In December, the Tribunal will hear from those groups who don't want to be part of the two Horonuku negotiations. Given that you've spent years on the mandate question, why hasn't this issue been sorted out yet? Is that a failure on the Crown's part, do you think?
I think the Crown has done its very, very best. The best and brightest in OTS. I've had people like Tuku Morgan, Jim Bolger, all sorts of people looking at it in good faith because, like me, they have a vision of a wealthy, connected northern part of our country making a real contribution and giving those people decent lives. And I was having a chat to Jim Bolger just the other night and he kept coming back to the economic opportunities that exist up there if people can work together. And then you combine it with Te Ture Whenua reform, which, let me emphasise, is not about alienation of land, but it's about allowing people the opportunity to develop land, a huge project worth billions of dollars to the Maori economy. Get some of these things done and the North will be motoring.
Is the Treaty of Office of Treaty Settlement starting to run out of money to get this claim through?
You're talking about the CFRT, and I'm
CFRT.
less than happy at what's been going on there. There was a very good judgment, if I may say so, with respect from the High Court the other day, and the judge has appointed some tremendous people as trustees, and so what I'm hoping is that they can focus on the job at hand, which is making sure that groups are adequately funded so that they can research and conduct their claims, and instead of concentrating on taking pot shots at one another.
Minister, if Ngāpuhi doesn't play ball, does that mean that they get booted to the back of the queue?
No, definitely not.
What happens if they don't play ball?
No one's booted to the back of any queue. I want to settle and get just and durable settlements with everyone. And I'll be like Francis Thompson's Hound of Heaven. I fled him down the nights and down the days. I fled him down the darkness of the years. I fled him down the labyrinthine ways of my own mind. And he came after me. And that is exactly the approach that I'm taking with all iwi. I want to settle with these iwi because it's in the interests of them and the country that we have just and durable settlements. And I will chase after people till I get them to the settlement table, and I won't give up.
Very poetical and very poignant. Minister, thank you very, very much for your time this morning on Marae. Tēnā koe.
Tēnā koe.